over. And you've got to believe that this is it for the career of David Price.
I don't think he quit on his stool. I think George Vaughn is the one that saved him.
Well, let's be honest, Sergio, if he didn't want to quit, he would have fought back with his trainer, but he'd sunk his head and basically gave in. And Kuzmin improves to 13-0, and David Price most likely will walk into the sunset after a career record of 22-6.
His body language showed all the signs of a fighter that didn't want to continue. Quit is a strong word as a fighter. I get upset, but he wasn't able to continue, and I think the trainer had a lot to do with that stop.
Well, I think the trainer said, listen, you're tired, and we know eventually those hands will drop and you're going to get caught, and you're going to get knocked out, and we're headed to the hospital, so let's just stop it right here, right now.
You got to.
He was going to get knocked out. However, you know, he was fighting a good fight, and in my opinion, Todd Grisham, the other commentator, here it is right here. Let me see if they give us some audio.
The trainer says he's done, and there it is. The 35-year-old former Olympic medalist won a bronze.
Right now it's 2:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, September the 22nd, 2018. The first fight of the pay-per-view opener for Joshua versus Povetkin. David Price now 22-6. You know, he quit on his stool. He was doing very good the early rounds, but it seems as though once he gets, you know, a few rounds in, he either mentally or physically or both fade. Like, I understand he took this fight on late notice, but he's just not fit to be a boxer anymore. You know, between the KOs, between how his, you know, like conditioning, you know, because this was a quit where his trainer was saving him from, he was starting to take some shots because he wasn't moving. He was in the high guard, but he wasn't pushing off. So Kuzmin was firing around that shit, and eventually David Price, with the way things was going, he was going to get knocked out. So now Sergey Kuzmin, 31 years old, 13-0 with 12 KOs, 13-0 with 10 KOs. Let's see if they updated yet. It's a stoppage, you know, he stopped in his corner, but he was going to get knocked out. The way things were looking for David Price is he was going to get knocked out. This is, as I was saying, the opener to the Joshua Povetkin card. You got Lawrence O'Colly versus Matty Askin versus Lawrence O'Colly for the British title next, and then you got Luke Campbell versus Yvonne Mendy for the WBC silver and to be the mandatory for Mikey Gar. Oh, let's listen in.
Champion Sergey Kuzmin.
Well, Todd, there's another word you can use: retirement. Quit is a very bold word, especially for fighters. You know, David Price is the type of guy that showed heart his entire career. Whether this is the end of his career, he's never been a quitter. He's been a fighter all along, and he retired on his stool.
An arm injury, what we don't know, but it looks like he's got an ice bag on his bicep area. So David Price, if this wasn't the end, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Let's say the arm was legitimately.
Like I said, you know, he was on his way to getting knocked out, and his trainer did a mercy thing. And also in the corner of David Price, he wasn't like, no, wait, I'm going to go back out. No, he didn't contest it. You know, David Price, you know, don't get me wrong. Back in 2010 and 2011, I was talking that shit. Like, David Price, man, is going to be before he met Tony Thompson, obviously. Let's listen to his post-fight interview. Obviously, I can't show it. Also, they've had some hiccups this week, but I'm highly impressed. It's still early with the broadcast of the zone so far.
Liverpool, get that arm worked on, and we'll reevaluate his situation. I was going to say a beautiful night in Wembley. It's still raining and it's still cold, but it looks great with the lights.
They're doing interviews.
Yes, it does.
To be honest, but it ruptured everything in the second round, so by the end of the fourth round, it's barely movable, and if it snapped that, it's out for 12 months at least, you know, and took the fight late notice, got in and done what I could, really.
How frustrating is it, because you obviously had your moments in the fight?
It's really frustrating, you know, and I'm not used to coming in late notice as an opponent, which was new, really. I'd love the opportunity to fight him again, if possible, with a good preparation, because I think our styles gelled and we caught each other with some good shots. But unfortunately, it ended in his favour, so the best man won.
Sergey, going to talk through your translator, Yevgeny, your reflections on the fight and your performance.
Ну, что ты думаешь о бое и о своем выступлении в этом бое?
We're talking to Kuzmin.
Вообще очень здорово. Я хочу поблагодарить всех, кто пришел сегодня сюда, на этот стадион, английских болельщиков, русских, которые приехали из нашей страны поболеть за нас. Я сразу скажу, что Дэвид Прайс, он не просто какой-то проходимец, да, он реально топовый боксер, призер Олимпийских игр. И мне тоже было нелегко, но я готовился и ожидал любой расклад.
That's Rabinski, that guy back there.
Я благодаря своей воле, победе, добился победы над ним.
Well, first of all, I would like to thank the British fans and the Russian fans that came here to watch the fight and to support us. David Price is not an easy guy. He's an Olympic prize winner, and it was a really tough one for me. I came prepared, and at the end, got the job done.
David mentioned he would like the opportunity for a rematch. Would you be interested in a rematch?
Дэвид сказал, что, возможно, он хотел бы сделать матч-реванш. Как ты думаешь, такая возможность может у него появиться?
Если наши команды договорятся и захотят этого боя болельщики, конечно, безусловно, я даю предварительно свое согласие, что без проблем.
Of course, if our teams come to an agreement and if this is what the fans want, preliminarily, I'm saying yes, I'm ready for this.
Thank you both for joining us.
So it doesn't sound like David Price is going to go anywhere. He seems to want a rematch after he rehabs his right arm.
I would like to see his punch stats. So yeah, David Price ain't going nowhere. He's saying it was a arm injury, and yeah, you know, like I said, he was winning the fight, but it looks like he was gassing out. So whether it was a legit arm injury or not, you know, I mean, he did take the fight on late notice. To be, you know, it's a tough call. It's a tough call. It's a tough call. You know, but I think that it was a mercy type thing that he was going to eventually get knocked out. So his trainer was like, you said, we was talking last night, you said you wasn't going to retire. So you got to quit this one, because if you get knocked out, it's definitely over. Anyway, I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.